Hey everybody. Welcome to the finals of the MKTour World Cup. And I am joined by Mitch. My name is Nick, or my name's T, so excuse me. And how are you doing, Mitch?
Hello. I'm doing well. I'm very excited for this matchup. This is, like you said, the finals of the MKTour World Cup, and this is going to be a really good one. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and yeah, Japan and Mexico.
Yeah, and actually we are starting a little bit late here, so actually I believe I see 7 in room, so we're gonna jump into the lineups real quick, but we'll be having two POVs today. We're gonna have Kano and Manu's POVs, but we have for Japan, Kano, and Nozomi and Ozuimu. And for Mexico, we have Luis, Manu, and Pepe Toro. And
So yeah, I don't know how much time. We probably don't have a lot of time, so let's start with Japan. I mean, these what's really interesting about Japan is they've been rotating a lot. So I think Omi has only played one match so far.
Right.
Ozuima's only played a couple, so it's really interesting how they're going about rotating their lineups here. The only player that I think has played, actually, and may not have played all matches, but he's played most of them. So, and obviously being Japan's bagger, and Kano being our point of view, it'll be really interesting to see these players in action. Like I said, they rotate their lineup very often. Mexico's lineup, this is the lineup we saw last week go up against the USA in semifinals. So they're riding on a definitely riding on a high after their win last week. So it'll be interesting to see how they go about this finals match here. But this is it. This is the match for the Marvels here. And race 1 being on Cheap Lagoon here.
Yeah,
I don't think this will be expected. I think they started.
Yeah, they started a bit early, so we will start
Yeah.
a little bit on Cheap Lagoon, but early trail right there. But top 2 right now for Mexico, and top 2 4 even. So early lead right now.
This is a really good start for them. This is a track that's very difficult to catch up on. Manu also has this red. He can do some damage if anyone tries to pass him on the shortcut. Star coming up though for Japan. Manu going a little bit wide to avoid that. That's a good play. Taking off Nozomi's red as well, so top 2 is pretty safe and secure right here, unless Nozomi pulls a mushroom.
And Manu getting hit out right there, and that's gonna hit him out a little bit. But he does get a shrimp, so he might recover a little bit. But
has to avoid this mega though. So close. Yeah, he'll cross the line. Actually, Mexico member getting taken on the line, so that's second place for Japan. I think that was Luas getting taken out. I believe the Wendy is Lewis. Lewis and Luas. That's gonna be fun to differentiate between, but yeah, Lewis MX being the Wendy, I believe. Everyone else is using Shaggy this time around.
An early lead for Mexico right there. 1-3-5-8 is a good start for them, and that will give them a 3-point lead. And kind of interesting that we mentioned Cheap Lagoon, because I know a lot of people, it's very, you don't really see shock happen in that race a lot, and I believe you do pauses right, but no worries, we're going to Coconut Mall R, and this one being kind of dependent on like what you get that first set and whatnot, but after that it's pretty smooth sailing from there. You're going to see some funny things, Mitch. But...
yeah, early breakaways are really crucial on this track with the shortcut at the beginning. We'll see who can pull those mushrooms. It's really low risk just jumping into that shortcut, even if you don't have. Actually, we're on the R version, so
yeah, this is
everything
the R
we
version.
just said, we'll just go out the window. So this is the R version. Maybe we'll see the normal version later on. Early green for Manu. We know how aggressive Mexico likes to play with their greens, but his green will get lagged away here. And another top 2 start for Mexico, top 3 even. Looking good so far in the front here. And the shroom as well is huge. If they can, but
Ooh,
he'll
that's
take
a
a
nice
trail from Luas.
Yeah, and Luas being the only one up there for Mexico. This is actually a really good situation. Oh yeah, he gets the red off, and they'll be a top 2 right now for Japan.
Yeah, nice red from Kano onto Luas there. Nice side red. And
very good reaction too.
First, top 3 even now. This is going to be very hard to break. And it looks like N is in last by a good margin as well.
We do see Manu has a heart, but it is in 6th place. So if he does dodge, he might not catch up too much. But heart in play right now for Mexico, but no shot coming in. So this might be.
They're very far behind too, by the way. Luas and Manu are. Lewis breaking into 3rd though. Let's see if he can make some plays happen.
Well, I don't think that play
Only
will
a
be.
shroom. Very unfortunate pull. Lewis will break the top 3.
Oh, he will.
Never mind. He will not.
I think Kano just sneaks into 3rd right there at the very, very end, and what a comeback race for.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there because Lewis got 6th even.
And maybe a red happened.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe there was the last second red right there for.
Couldn't quite see it.
But this is a perfect race, I believe. Yep, the results state it is a perfect race for Japan right there, and what a comeback for them.
Yeah, huge response. By the way, I think your scores are flips from race 1, but yeah, great response from Japan.
Kind of a tale of 2 different races. They're like same kind of ideas where both of them were front running. Both teams were front running after lap 1, but kind of from both opposite sides, which I mean it's kind of difficult if you start up there in the pack, but. I think Japan doing a really good job in that race, knocking out the early top 2 from Mexico there.
Yeah, again, great front presence to start, but Japan dealing with it very early on, and it was smooth sailing from there for them in the front.
Yeah, Warrior Shipyard kind of notorious for a runner, but there is a pretty big. There's a shroom cut here, but you can do it without a mushroom, and we'll probably see a lot of people do it. On right now, drafting up to 1st place, and currently 1-2-4.
Great draft. He could, he'll opt to hold his mushroom.
Ooh.
Pulls a horn.
I like the aggressive play. Yeah, he goes for the aggressive play, trying to get the guy out in 2nd, but unfortunately does not. Will he get punished for it? No, he won't.
Not quite yet. Yeah.
And the person in 2nd is Manu, or is Kano, and. I believe Manu does not have any protection, so this is really, really good for Kano right here, but he has to be careful of the Japan player in 3rd. He opts to back 1.
Opts back 1. Bomb comes up, doesn't hit anyone, but this red is going to connect for sure. He's actually going to back it. Very interesting play.
Yeah.
Opting to stay in 2nd for now. Maybe a blue was called out, or maybe he's just going to wait till the last set. But yeah, look at this now. His teammate's in 3rd. He really has no reason to aggress on 1st right now.
Yeah.
He has protection. He'll actually go for it now, though.
And he gets it.
Yeah, that's a nasty...
and he gets a hard in 1st right there. He's smooth sailing right there. Right now, top 2-4 for Japan.
This is a confirmed 1st for him here. He has invincibility for the rest of the race here.
And we're going to a little Manu's perspective right now. Right now, top 2-4 for Japan right here. And if Manu gets hit out, this is looking very, very rough. Double Shroom's not the best pull. Yeah, he'll get redded out there, and that's going to be a really, really fast.
And the red 2 from Ozuimu, that's going to connect. It'll split and hit Nozomi, though, so Nozomi is actually going to get 6th here. That's a draft for Manu. So,
really unfortunate for Japan. For Japan that the red does split and hit Ozuimu right there, but still a really solid race for Japan. I will get that fixed for you, Mitch.
Yeah, Ozuimu got 2nd, so he didn't like top 2 is still confirmed. That's all they need is to win the race, but could have been a lot better. And you know, we're in the keep saying that we're in the finals of the World Cup here, and mistakes like that can add up. So we'll have to see how that plays out in the long run. But regardless, it is a winning race for Japan again. I do want to point out that I think it was Nozomi who hit I think he hit a crab in second place, but it might have been on purpose because he was able to chain a red onto Manu as he passed him. Could have been on purpose. I'm not sure. But
we are going to...
either way, that was great for them to secure the top 2.
We're going to go to Baby Park right now, and early lead. We see Kano actually now bagging. Very interesting to see him bag right now.
Yeah, Xiaomi opting to bag. He'll get this draft here. He might touch this box in 7th now because of that. Yeah, he will. So let's place box for Pepe there. And look, Mexico top 3 right now. They could opt to go. Kano could opt to go for some trolling plays here on this top 3.
Yeah, and we see early top 3 right there for Mexico. Let's see what if they there will be any trolls from them. It doesn't look like it, and this is looking like a run on Baby Park, which is very, very kind of surprising. But yeah, that track is runnable in a group sense right there if you get that early top 3 established, and Mexico doing a really good job showing that right there.
Yeah, honestly, this track functions more as a runner in MKTour, which is crazy to think, but like the nisks over the grass are very easy. Like if you enter that at the right angle, you just hold your MT through it. It's just like normal road, pretty much. It's very easy to do. So, like mushrooming through it or starring through it doesn't save as much time as you would think.
And we are going
really, the only threat there is shock, and unfortunately we couldn't. Unfortunately for Japan, they weren't able to pull it. But yeah, great race for Mexico. That keeps them in contention here. -10 after 4 races.
And we are going to Singapore. I think this is 2x? This is 2x, or I can catch it was 2x or 2RT, but...
Yeah, 2T. So this track has 2 gliders. Both of them have respawns. The first one doesn't save too much time. The second one is probably the best Singapore respawn there is. So... And
we see right there Manu opting not to take the respawn. They're probably opting to save it there for the second respawn.
Yeah, he'll want to save this.
Oh, no, he actually does.
Throwing his red. This puts him in a vulnerable position from 3rd. We'll have to see if he can hold this mushroom.
Yeah, we see him dropping.
Though, he'll be broken away in 1st.
We see him dropping right there. Top 2 right now early, but he opts to use it maybe for protection or to hit them out. He does hit one out.
Yeah, goes for the greedy red. I'm not sure that connected, actually.
I think it did. Oh, that was a nice banana snipe from Manu.
Huge, yeah. And that's a heart in 1st for Lulas.
Lulas gets hit out.
But
That might have been a banana
snipe or something.
I think that might have been a banana snipe from Japan right there.
Crazy play. Only 1 protection now for Manu in 1st.
And that protection is taken out. If there's a red in 2nd, then it's gonna be lights out for Manu right there.
Yeah, he could get target redded right here off the glider. But, oh, maybe not. There's Lewis in 2nd now. And just gonna opt to shroom over the
last second dodge.
Shot comes in.
And Japan just snipes top 2. Wow. I think
perfect timing there for Japan.
And I think that was N's shot right there. What a nice shot from N right there. To get Japan that top tier. Which practically just snipes out that right there for or that first place from Team Mexico.
Wow, I think for both teams that was a very well played race. Mexico responded very well in getting back into those top spots, but the shock pull by N was just the nail in the coffin there.
Right.
Perfectly timed right before Manu could cross the line. It couldn't have been any closer there. So yeah, great race all around, but Japan extending their lead here after 5 races. Still plenty left, but yeah, Japan are already pretty comfortable here, honestly. This lead is already pretty solid, but again, a top 3 or something similar for Mexico puts them right back in it here.
We are going to the new track, Daisy Cruiser T. I almost said Daisy Circuit again. But we are going to Daisy Cruiser right here. Kind of an early lead right now for Japan right now, 134. And yeah, Manu's gonna opt to look for power item to catch up here. Our bomb might not do anything. He might try to opt to back in here, maybe make Japan get 6 right there, but it looks like the back hits. And it looks like an early top 2 right now for Japan. And as we
looks
see,
like there's a red in second being trailed by Japan, so third place kind of fighting for that second place, but they're not going to be able to do so with a red shell in play. And oh, maybe they will actually. So there's Lewis breaking into second here. 1 protection for Kano. 2-3 now for Mexico, actually. This is great. They have a chance to take Kano. And there goes his protection to lag from the bagger, I think. This could be a double run on the line. But no, it doesn't look like that will happen. 2-3-4 though for Mexico. Yeah, great job from Lewis to break up that top 2. Yeah, if reds were pulled there, that could have been detrimental for Japan. Because I'm not sure which bagger that was. They're both using Shy Guys, so it's a little bit difficult to tell, but that was a bagger that lagged his protection away. Could have been detrimental there. Alright, so Calamari 2.
oh, I know this track. This isn't Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, it's crazy. As of 2 days ago at this point, right?
1 day.
Yeah, just 1 day.
Yeah.
I'm losing track of days.
1.5 days, yeah. But
yeah, literally, like,
the days are a blur.
Yeah, to be honest, but track should be familiar to a lot of players now, as we've seen it in several different games now.
But I don't think they've fully seen Calamari 2 or Calamari 2 on its fullest, but it's basically just going around this area right here. Then we'll get onto the train tracks eventually. Do we get on the train tracks? Yeah, we do get on the train version. Really strong pull.
Yeah, this red shell could be good if, I believe that's, Ozuimo in front of him can get ahead.
Yeah, he's looking back.
He might go for back, actually, going for this back spam.
Nope.
But no, he sees a red shell, so he'll hold it. Star being used, going for that star hit onto Luas, not going to connect. Bomb back, also not going to connect. And it's just Luas in first right now. Kano getting taken out. And there goes Japan out of first. Top 3 for Mexico coming into this last turn here. Going away his trails, making sure not to hit his teammate, and that's going to be top 2-6. So Japan coming back on the shortcut, but yeah, great I'm not sure what.
I think there was. I think Manu had a bomb snipe. Manu or whoever was in second had a bomb snipe onto the guy in first and bomb sniped him out. So
that's what it looked like. Yeah, that was huge for them.
Really strong plays right now for Mexico, using their items really, really well right there. And top 2-6 now. And it's gonna be only a 13-point lead going into race 8.
Yeah, crazy. That, like, these pack plays, and we saw them last week as well. Mexico going up against USA, their pack play was very, very strong. Coming out again against Japan here. This is what they need. And, you know, we know how strong of a squad Japan is, especially in their running power, but Mexico's just pack play in general has just been on point. Definitely going to want to keep that up in order to keep themselves in this match. Alright, back to Warrior Shipyard.
I believe this is the R version, so we might see an early shock actually, because you can respawn to get those boxes right there. So high probability for shock here.
Yeah, I'm going to have to watch who manages to get those boxes in 8th tier. 2 bananas for Kano. Sometimes we see players go for cheeky snipes off that glider, but Kano not going to opt for that. Just Manu in first right now. Maybe his teammates will shroom up.
Oh, he tries to drop there, but unfortunately cannot. But he does get double protection.
That's a great pull for him still. He might get his protections lagged away though.
He'll opt to throw one and try to drop, but it doesn't work for him. That's another banana, and he's now.
Let's go a little bit slowly here to let Japan in first.
It was a banana wave, and it's a 2-3-4 right now for Mexico.
Yeah, suddenly just Nozomi in first. He has a red shell. Might opt for a back spam.
Or doesn't.
Go for it. Smart though. Heart pull for Manu in second place is huge.
And we see Kano right there in 5th. He could catch up here with the room star pull right there, and he does.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, Mexico has no cut items here, so Kano's just gonna get right back up in the front here. Manu's
he might do some damage.
He needs to use this now.
No, I think he got hit out.
Yeah, it was too late. Very greedy, holding that heart for so long, and now it's just Lewis in first. Only one red, and that's a protection for Lewis. Kano's gonna have to go for the snipe of his life right here.
Oh, but a shock comes in.
Nope. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Shock for Japan again, and that's another top 2. That snipe honestly, that looked like that could have hit if it if the shock didn't happen though. Great attempt from him, but yeah, shock's gonna dodge 2 Japanese members in hearts. Yeah, another shock saving Japan's race. Although, to be fair, it wasn't even looking too bad for them. 2-3-4. Yeah, just this back and forth in this mid-pack. You know, Mexico being 2-3-4 earlier on in the race just suddenly flips complete opposite direction. I feel like a good amount of that was due to the shortcut, but Japan, you know, playing that smart, knowing that they have the chance to come back on a really strong shortcut like that. So managing to stay in those bottom spots and carry their items up.
Yeah, and right now going to Arbex, Pinot Lake 1R. If anything that could happen here, I expect some, I guess, basically just whoever gets a shroom in that last half there will probably catch up really, really fast at the end. Really catch up really, really fast and then stay up there. But we are going to see a early shroom for Kano. This could be good, but he gets it out.
Yep, gonna have to burn it early. He can still get a low place box there. Try and get some more shrooms or a heart. Manu with a shroom in first right now, but yeah, he's gonna have to drop. That's a red for Nozomi. Actually being very disciplined and not throwing the red, so he has that red in first still to protect him. Manu with a red of his own though, he could make a play, and yeah, there goes. I think that was Ozuimo getting hit out.
Yeah, and Kana right now in first. Oh, that red. I think maybe. Oh, the double bomb play is gonna be very scary.
Bomb hole. Oh my gosh. Yep, gets lagged in the cut. Doesn't think that hits anyone though. That's some Mexico member in a heart. Yeah, Lewis in a or sorry, Manu in a heart in second here. But how is there? Yeah, Ozuimo comes up with a heart in first of his own. No one's getting hit out here.
Yeah. What a crazy play from Manu. I think he hits up the guy in first or second right there, and snipes and drafts up just to get that first place. And this is looking like a really close ending, Mitch.
Yeah, Mexico definitely fighting for this lead back. Lead that they haven't had since the first race, but they're keeping it very close nonetheless. Having great, like, the back and forth, it's just a great response between both teams. Just shows how evenly matched they are. And yeah, definitely thanks to Manu that race. Great plays from him overall. Yeah, do you want to point out, Manu definitely, I would say, being the star player of the semifinals last week against USA, showing up again here today. It's been, like, he just been so huge for this Mexico team.
And going into, I believe, the last 3 races, this is really doable for Mexico. If they string races like that, then they, like that last race, then they win by small margin. But still, it's gonna be, these last races are gonna be really on, and we're gonna go on a very chaotic track in baby part T.
For sure here. I think I saw several baby parks on the course selection for this evening, so
yeah,
gonna be seeing a lot of this here. A red pole for Kano here.
That green is kind of spooky right there.
Yeah, spacing well to chain his mushroom. Now he has double reds. So
oh, but he gets hit out.
He gets hit through his protection there by, I think that's Manu again.
Yeah, but Manu.
Yeah, but he'll get traded out.
I think that's gonna be a free first for whoever's in.
Oh yeah, he's several seconds ahead now. I think that was Nozomi.
You look right now, Manu only with a banana. This is not gonna be good enough. Omega coming in, and oh, I think he gets.
Oh my god, that nano snipe is huge. Hart unfortunately pulled a little too late, but that puts Mexico in a position to take 2-3-4. I think, like you said, first is pretty far gone here, but that was an insane snipe. Third could get taken out as well.
Oh, last second blue.
A second shock for Mexico, but no, maybe not for Mexico. That dodges one of Japan, and they get top 2.
Do you think that blue hit one of Mexico?
I wasn't paying attention. Actually, I have the... I'm looking at the... Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, I have my stream open. It's pretty far behind, though, so I'm not sure. It very well could have hit a Mexico member there.
Yeah, that last minute shock, honestly, very unfortunate for Mexico right there. You know, I think they...
I'm not sure if that hit. If anything, it hit Luas. But I can't quite tell from the replay, but...
I think it might have, which is a very unfortunate play right there. I think Luas might have just gone to first right there, and then he gets blued. Because of the shock right there. Might have dodged, but it took out his protection, so he gets blued there. So very unfortunate for him if that was the case. And we are going to see a bot here. I think we're going to see Mexico opt to do a all-run strat here.
Yeah, they have to. This is a substantial lead now for Japan with 2 to go. Yeah, actually Japan is opting to all run as well.
I think they're resetting because...
Oh yeah, there's a bot. You're right. Okay, so...
Es un ventilador para quitarlo.
Do we have to say it?
I mean, I think it's...
We might have to say it.
I think so, man. I mean, honestly, it's a part of the rules. I talked to Rookie about this. Rookie's not a huge fan of it. I personally don't mind it. I think it's fine. But yeah, it is a... You can say it, Mitch.
DC Tactico?
Yep. It is.
Here's the thing though. Like, I want to point out that you can make a substitution without having to restart the room. It is doable.
I think they want to replay Baby Park T. I think that might be another reason why. Because that is a pretty big...
I don't know. Maybe they do, but they just lost on it.
I think what they will do is they'll probably opt to all run that instead of bag it. Yeah, we see worst one in for probably MKTour. I think what they want to do is I can see the strategy, what they're going for. I think what they're going to do is they're going to try to all run Baby Park T just to get a huge race on that. Because if you're going to run any track in this selection of tracks, you're going to run a Baby Park T, which is understandable why you go for the disconnection right there. But you do have Drazy Cruiser R, which is honestly, like, even though it's a runner, it's also pretty... There's a high likelihood for shock to happen because you are touching so many boxes. I mean, same thing as well with Baby Park T because you do have the 3 laps instead of the normal 2. So kind of a risky play for Mexico, but I can see why. It's the finals. It's... You want to try to get a 1-0 there, so which is very important. Yeah, and we do see worst one in for MKTour, so it does look like they will be opting for the all-run play right there. Which is, you know...
To see, this is such a risky strategy on a track like Baby Park. I would understand if it was a track like Choco Island or Vanilla Lake, but Baby Park is pretty long and has several chances for N to get the shock.
I do have another question. How many boxes does Baby Park T have specifically?
I think it's 2 per lap. So realistically, that's 4 chances at it.
Right.
Which is substantial. So very risky, but we'll have to see if it pays off here.
All right. Going to race 11 right now. We are going to be seeing a Baby Park T. We're going to see Mexico all run this when they're down 20. And if this works out for them, this will be really big. They hope for a huge race right here. But if it doesn't, then it's going to be a win for Japan right here. Let's see how it shakes out. Yeah, and we do see one Japan member staying back there, but early top spots for Mexico right now.
Off to a rough start, taking 2 trails right off the bat. This is already looking very good for Mexico.
Yeah,
and Zomi being the sole member up here. Star pull for Manu. He's staying in. Actually, Nozomi's not in second. I didn't realize Manu was back here. But bottom 2 now for Japan. They really are going to have to hope for the shock at this point because top spots are breaking away now.
And Manu can easily catch up here. Oh, this is a really good pull. That heart will... Yeah, this is going to be really, really good for them.
This is exactly what Mexico was going for here.
Yeah. Oh, but the... Oh, what a play!
There it is. The shock from Japan. That's going to dodge. There's N with a bill as well. This is going to be flipped right around for Japan here. This is almost a guaranteed top 3.
He's gonna red him right there, but it's still not gonna be enough.
Red.
Yeah, it's still not gonna be enough though. I think Japan takes game 1.
That's winning for Japan, so they'll clinch it there. And yeah, Manu doing his best, taking N out with the bill. Kind of greedy of him to hold it for so long, but top 2 is all they needed.
Right. I mean, Mitch, you called it. Even though Mexico had a really strong lead at the beginning, the shock goal, and really good job from Japan to snipe out the heart from Manu, and then calling the shock immediately.
He literally had a heart the instant before they called it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And they took it out like immediately.
Yeah.
Which is really, really, really strong plays from Japan right there.
Yeah, insane.
And that will be game 1 going to Japan. We will be going towards just ending it off on we'll be ending it off on Daisy Cruiser R. But yeah, I think overall it's kind of funny to view this match, because I feel like what happened in this match was that it's kind of like you expect Mexico to be the one, because they usually have the bagger and whatnot. You expect, and Japan usually plays all run. You expect Japan to be the ones, or Mexico to be the ones having shock, and Japan to be the ones making all these really nice pack plays. But honestly, it's been kind of the opposite this war. We see Japan and doing a really good job against Pepe Toro, getting the shocks, and Mexico making really, really nice plays in front, establishing leads and whatnot. But unfortunately, not enough to take game 1.
Yeah, and it's great that you bring that up, because this, this matchup last year, this finals matchup between Japan and USA, really where Japan faulted the most was their bagging. And seeing Japan adapt this year and actually go for the hard bag and having it succeed so well, because like you said, N is doing such a great job bagging in such a short, like, I don't know how much he's bagged before World Cup, because I only heard of N bagging in World Cup, but regardless, like, out-bagging Pepe, being one of the best baggers in the community right now, is just like crazy, and such a great adaptation from Japan to make the win happen for them here. But yeah, final score 224 to 226 for Japan.
Yeah,
that's gonna be match 1.
We'll see if there's gonna be any changes from Mexico here. Probably not. I think they will opt to just keep this lineup as is.
I don't think they have. Personally, I don't think they have a choice unless they want to sub in worst for one of their runners. They don't have a substitute bagger for Pepe.
Right.
So
Manu?
yeah, Pepe gonna have to do
work.
And like he's gonna have to play the bagging war of his life in this upcoming match.
Yeah. I guess before yeah, I think if let's take a quick look at the bracket. I guess just to like overview the World Cup, kind of very dominant performances from Japan. I mean, they did almost have some, they almost dropped a game, I think, to France, but this is probably like the closest they played a team so far. And Mexico kind of having the opposite. They aren't perfect. They've been, I think they dropped a game to El Salvador, who reached semis, and then dropped a game to the United States last week. But they've been very resilient, very resilient this World Cup, and they are doing a very good job in keeping it. So I could wholly expect them to come back for match 2. And honestly, they did lose that match 1 to the United States and then came back. So I'm not for a second doubting this team come back.
Yeah, and I think it's great that you point that out. I think both Japan and Mexico, they've had their hardest, their work cut out for them the most this year. Both teams. Between, like you mentioned, Japan struggling versus France, I would say that win for them, or both of those wins for them, actually were not. They weren't easy wins by any means. France did a great job against them in the front, and then Mexico, like you said, dropping games in group stage, which is something that no one would have expected, I believe. And then, there's a series against the United States, which honestly, like, I can't really say myself since I am on the US team, but probably one of the most intense sets of matches, not only in World Cup, but probably ever in Mario Kart Tour. That set, like you see on the screen right here, 2+2 wins for Mexico. Like, really couldn't have been any closer. And yeah, Mexico coming out on top, with a rough start. It's just crazy the bounce back they've had.
All right.
Yeah, definitely the most intense set of matches this year for both of these teams, I would say.
And honestly, this World Cup has probably been the most intense World Cup for a really long time. So many teams, I think, kind of making upsets. We're talking about El Salvador making an upset against Peru and Mexico, and other teams as well. I think UK doing a really good upset versus Brazil is also, yeah, very intense World Cup. I mean, even in the quarterfinals, like, even though like we did have that really nice El Salvador Peru match, that 1-2-3 games. If you look at the other matches, they're very close. I mean, the biggest differential that I see is that 256 to 212 versus USA and Hong Kong. But even then, the match before, USA only squeaked by with a 4-point win.
Yeah, like overall, the community in general has just gotten so much stronger in the past year, and it really shows in these World Cup matches. So it's great to see.
All right, I think we'll be taking we can take a little bit of a break. We have 4 minutes until the room's up, but stick around. We do have game 2 of Japan versus Mexico. Will Japan be the first team to ever win the Mario Kart Tour World Cup 2 times in a row, or will Mexico etch their name into the World Cup trophy for the first time? See you in a bit. And we're back. Welcome back to the MKTour World Cup finals between Japan and Mexico. We saw a very intense back and forth match between the two teams, but Japan did take it all. Very, very close match up until the final few races. But now we have a new slate. And we'll see if Japan takes their second MKTour World Cup, or will Mexico come back and force match 3. Of course, my name is T. I am joined by my always good friend Mitch, who I believe is, and yep. Hey Mitch, how's it going?
Hello.
Yeah. I forgot to undeafen on. My bad. But we should be good. I think they're actually going into it already. Wow, they're actually joined really fast. So we're gonna jump into it. Yeah, they are, and we'll get to the tracks in a bit. But I do want to say we are starting on Yoshi Valley T, kind of a front running tracks, and we see worst one in for, I believe, Luos, which is gonna be very interesting. It'll be 3 SKT members going at it versus Japan.
Yep, so yeah, looks like worst one in for Luos and Zenma in for Nozomi.
Alright, Zenma, yeah, Zenma, a very, very old school player, and has been around for quite a while here. So it'll be very interesting to see how Zenma plays this. Early second place for Manu right now. And now first with double protection. Oh, unfortunately one gets taken out. And both does get taken out, but I think he trails them. That's gonna be early top 3 for Mexico.
Well, looks like those trails do connect here. And an early top 3, but actually, yeah, and it does look like Pepe is in last. Looks like that bagging battle is close though. So
I do see a blue explosion. And I think that does take 2 of Mexico out, so...
That's yeah, 2 getting taken out. That's a Nana connecting onto Lewis as well, sorry. So that's going to put him a bit farther back. That puts Zinma in second place, contesting Manu. We'll have to see what he can do here. Hart in second as well for him. He's pretty set to hold second place.
Kano kind of with the risky play right there. If there's a red for him, it's going to be really bad, but we do see nothing for him. Another set of double shrooms. Manu trying to shroom up right here.
It's going to be deadly.
And if Manu can see he's second place right there, I don't think he will, but... Oh, that second red? No. Does not hit. I think it does hit one of the Japan members though, and it will be a 135 for Mexico.
Yeah. Did Kano have a red last set, or was that 2 mushrooms?
It was 2 mushrooms. It might have been a little bit.
Okay, then I am blind, so there was no red. There was no danger for Manu there. So yeah, the 135. And are you sure that was worse? That subbed in. Okay, it is.
Yeah,
He's using Shy Guy. I have not seen him use Shy Guy in a very long time, so I was a little bit confused there, but yeah, I guess changing it up for the purpose of this match.
Is it a 1357 for Mexico?
I'm not sure, but we can look right here.
Oh yeah, we can. Whoever got the 1 point
was not paying attention. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Japan who got the 1 point, so it'll be 2-6-8 for. It'll be early lead for Mexico, but you know, same thing happened last time, and then they easily responded. So we'll see how it is right here. Armex, remember right here? I think this is the second variety. Kind of a huge front running track right here, especially with the trick ramps. We do see.
We'll see if he can hold his protection here if it gets lagged away. Pretty common for that to happen, but he'll keep it here. Having a shroom in pocket is pretty nice, but yeah, there goes his protection. So, not so nice anymore.
probably opt to... Is he gonna drop here? No, it doesn't. Keeps the shroom, and yeah, he does it right there.
Get rid of that. And another heart pull in second for maybe that was Zenma. I couldn't quite tell.
Yeah, I think it was.
It's Kano in second. And this top two.
Oh, that red is very unfortunate, and that's me top three
as well. Top three and top two are broken away now.
Yeah. Let's see if Manu can catch up right here.
And in last as well by a good amount. And that's a star pull as well. Yeah, that's just gonna confirm that he's gonna break away even more.
But a star pull for Manu as well. There's a blue shell going.
Manu, blue shell, yeah. But the shroom.
Oh, I think he deserves a drop out right here, but
I don't know. Where'd
the blue go?
Maybe it was horned.
Maybe it was, but Manu's playing in second place. We couldn't see it because of the blue shell. We're expecting the blue shell, but no blue shell, so really nice for Manu to catch up there.
Yeah, no idea what he did, but
good job. Good job.
Gonna break that top three. I guess that star he had ended up being pretty powerful. So,
yeah.
Great on him, but yeah, this is the exact same story as the first war. An early, a good start for Mexico, but Japan responding right back. 1-3-4-7 for them.
And we do have an announcement actually after this match, so please stick around for after this match. But yeah, I wonder what it could be. Ooh. Exciting. We are going to Cheap Lagoon trick right here. Again, very, if shock happens here, something's wrong with the game. You only really get one chance to really full shock here, and it's very low chance. Honestly, at this point, with how the bagging meta is working, you might have 0 chance to pull shock here. But early top 2 for Ann right there, and ooh, getting bumped. Manu getting bumped right there. That's not gonna be a good look for them.
Yeah, getting bumped out of that first set with only 2 sets per lap on this track. That means he has no chance at pulling any sort of dodge until lap 2.
Right.
And he's in 4th, which is a pretty good position to pull a dodge if he were able to. But yeah, that's a crucial bump for them. That's going to be really detrimental for Mexico, I think. But a shroom pull in first for KNO.
Are we gonna opt to shroom?
I don't know if he's going to be able to hold this for very long.
Oh no, I see.
Actually, opting to drop. Yeah.
He has to be careful of any reds behind him. Yeah, gets his protection out, and needs to work. Be careful of any backs from Lewis right now. I'm gonna see. Let's see what he does. I think the safe play is just to keep it. And ooh, the green does get taken out. I think he dodged the red, or that might have been just for a. I think that might have targeted a Mexico member right there. But this is kind of scary for Lewis, honestly. If they're no, he should be fine right now. Only a single red.
There's a bill though. Doesn't look like that's going to connect. Probably a troll attempt onto Lewis, but it's not going to connect. That red might though.
No, it doesn't. Top 2.
Top 2.
I think the Mexico member just shroomed up there at the very end. And that's that was a really clutch shroom attempt. Shroom right there. Manu getting 5th place right there.
I do want to point out that Kano played that very well. He, before the last set, it looked like he was going to get drafted. But what he did was he used his mushroom in order to maintain second to get that second place box, but also avoid Lewis's trail. He had very good spacing after the shroom too. So it was overall very well played from him. Unfortunately though, he pulled a coin in second, so he really didn't have a response to the mushroom from, I think that was Manu in third. So, but yeah, overall very well played, but Japan just falling too far behind in 5th and 6th.
And we are going to Baby Park right now. And we call this a kind of a, I mean, this is a track, if there's ever we would call Baby Park a runner, it's probably this game. But Honestly, I feel like even this track specifically, the normal version, even the R version, can't really run that well unless you have a group run established, which Japan does have right now. Let's see if they will keep it up or not. We see Manu getting up there and getting double stream, so this could be good, but he has to be careful with the green right here.
Be very careful. That green not going to connect, but greens bounce off of several walls on this track and are very dangerous. That one not going to hit anyone though. This red, I'm not sure what just happened there, but both of those Japan
I think a
members got
random
taken
green
out.
might have hit both of them. This is really good for Japan or for Mexico right now, and the Sherman first.
Tides have completely turned. Yeah, Sherman first for Manu here, and he has team. Yeah, top 3. Oh, maybe not. Kind of close to top 3.
Ooh,
that bomb gonna connect on the KNO. He's gonna get 6th for sure. And that's a 1-3-4 for top 2 for Lewis coming up at the end.
Up to 5 actually. I think one of them does get hit out, but
I am very curious as to what happened to Japan there. If that was bad spacing or whatever the case may be, that was
7.
That was detrimental for them. Baby Park offering some interesting races for us tonight.
Yeah. Kind of
that was just
yeah, that was just kind of a weird
that could add up. That's mistakes like that can add up.
Yeah.
And gonna have to see if
Japan I could see it right how it could be probably the person in first getting hit out by a random green, you know, those bouncing greens that can be very vicious, and then not expecting that the Japan member in second just getting trailed by like a green or a red and just completely demolishing just completely wrecking their top 2 right there. But lucky I mean, I wouldn't say lucky, but you know, those mistakes help Mexico so much.
Yeah. So this is the coconut mall variation that I was trying to talk about earlier with this early shortcut. That's 3 shrooms for Japan right off the bat.
Yeah.
So they are already pretty broken away, but okay, that red does not connect. That red from Manu. So top 2 held for Japan right now. So Manu is in a pretty tough position. He'll get redded from 5th actually, so he's not able to contest these spots anymore. Not the best.
Oh, I don't know if that was.
I wish we could tell if that hit or not.
I don't think it did though.
Nope, doesn't look like it. So top 2 still
early
held.
shock. That might have been for Pepe from MKTour. Yeah, it does look like 2-3 right now for well, I mean for Mexico, but not only first now. I think that was a shock.
That shock does not do very much for Mexico at all. But okay, there is a Japan member getting taken out, but Lewis is still alone in first place. I'm not sure if that shock was the correct play for Mexico here. Because Lewis is in a very rough position here. Gonna have to hope for double protection. Star coming up for worse, trying to break.
Oh, this is not a really good pull, but oh, that. Oh, there's gonna be a blue for Lewis.
Oh no, yeah, that's gonna connect to for sure before the line, and that's gonna be first for Japan.
Really good blue pull from Japan right there, saving that race. Honestly, turning that race up on its head right there, but not too big of a lead. So not too much of a winning race. So this is okay, still okay for Mexico, but unfortunate for the blue right there. Good job for Pepe for getting the shock there, but that early shock does come back to bite them.
Yeah, I think, you know, they were. So I think what their thought process here was top 2 for Japan, targeting them after the set, and hoping that Mexico can pull the shrooms in that first set. And unfortunately, that doesn't happen. Or it happens for Lewis, but it doesn't happen for the other Mexico member who was in 4th. So they aren't able to take the cut, and Japan can just maintain their 2-3, and that's exactly what happened. They just didn't get the items they needed there. But I think they felt like they had to use it there because of that shortcut.
Right, yeah.
And I think it would have worked out, but Not good enough item pulls there for Mexico, plus the blue shell at the very end for Lewis. Swung that in Japan's favor there, but regardless, this is now Daisy Cruiser. Early red pull for KNO. This is Manu.
Yeah, Miss Manu.
Sorry,
Manu
he'll
does
take
get
a
it.
side green, but this red I think is going to connect on the Zinna here.
Yeah, I think it does. I don't think it does, but yeah.
Nope, it does not actually. So, KNO 2 being the one in second here. Lewis alone in first. A familiar scenario here. Double reds for KNO. Lewis's first place is not going to last very long.
Let's see what happens right here.
I think he just chains them out immediately.
He does.
Yep. Top 2 for Japan now. Red in first for KNO.
I think KNO's set right here unless the shock does happen. Really good pull from Manu right here if they do have shock.
But he's so far behind. I don't know if these items are going to do anything. He also has to be careful of his team.
Ooh.
And Lewis gets taken out.
Worst one gets taken out.
Worst gets taken out. Yeah, this top 2 is just held by Japan here. Yeah, I think Worst got too close to Ozuimu and got trailed, and then I think Manu megaed Lewis there actually. But that was just what I was about to say. This ending section of Daisy Cruiser is very narrow and hard to avoid items like megas, so he didn't really have much of a choice there. Or Manu didn't have much of a choice there, so. But yeah, top 2 just held by Japan, and slowly but surely this lead is increasing for them. I think your scores are flipped again, by the way. Unless I'm just completely...
No, this should be correct.
It is correct? Okay,
yeah.
I'm completely zoning out then. So Mexico's still in the lead then.
Yeah, Mexico in the lead.
I just completely wasn't keeping track of that. That's my bad.
No worries. You're good.
Yeah, I believe that was race 6, right? So now at the halfway point,
yep.
This is Mexico's war to lose. Again, like, actually, yeah, I didn't have time to talk about this before the war started, but very quickly, this match, Japan versus Mexico, we've seen it not only in 2021 in that semifinals match, which very memorable match, one of the most memorable matches from last year, but in 2020 as well, we saw this matchup in the finals.
Right.
This matchup has a lot of history and a lot of weight behind it, especially for Mexico, as they've lost to this team twice in this playoff stage. Mexico really wanting to, make this their first win against Japan here, but so far looking good for them in this second match, but
right now top 2 for Japan. Oh no, the top 2 does get breaking up by KNO or by the 2-3 right there. Oh, that's gonna be that's gonna be really bad, but see what happens here. If a shroom gets pulled right here. Oh no, the slideshow. Oh, that's just but worse from getting a shroom too.
So he'll keep second, but a 1-3 for Japan.
2-4-5 though for Mexico does make it a little bit okay, but yeah, still winning race 4 and right now.
I believe that's a +1. Oh, okay, it looks like Japan gets second actually, so I believe that's a +3, right?
Yeah, 136.7.
7.
Yeah, +3, so it's gonna be 135 to 138 going to racing. This is really tight. Oh my goodness.
Slowly inching their way back towards the lead here. And yeah, now we're going into 3DS Bowser Castle T, and we saw some very interesting races here last weekend. Especially in that Mexico USA matchup. See if Mexico can recreate some of that here against Japan.
Really top 2 for Mexico. This is actually really good because this is a huge runner, and this is actually a very big runner.
I mean, one thing to note though, shrooms on the first set are very crucial. Looks like Lewis pulls one, but he gets taken out right away by a green from KNO. That's huge. That prevents an early breakaway. So it's just Manu in first.
Manu right now in
Looks
first
like
place.
He's gonna pull this double protection, so he's safe for now.
Ops the back one, but I don't think it does hit. Oh, what a snipe onto KNO right there, and that's gonna be early top 2-4 for Mexico.
Yeah, I was gonna say that green snipe was crucial for KNO, but he responds right. Lewis, I believe that was Lewis's bomb, just responds right back onto KNO, and a top 3 now for Mexico. This is huge for them.
Yeah, but a star pull
for KNO, and N is in last.
So this could be very huge if they do pull the shock right here.
They're pretty far from the set though, so this will have to be a pretty late shock if it's pulled. Yeah, he just has to opt to use it here. Mexico's breaking away now.
Just pull a blue, which is really
Mexico.
cool.
Blue shell though. I'm not sure what hits. I believe that was worse there, but this blue shell is going to be crucial now, as Manu will get taken out after the last set. Green pull.
Out, but
and Lewis gets hit by a trail, I believe.
And I think Manu gets sniped out.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, but the red.
But Lewis still gets. Oh my gosh, that interaction was insane.
KNO doing everything to get Mexico's top 3 out, but just gets red at the last second. And I
can't believe that. So what happened there? Manu gets blued. Lewis hits his trail, or maybe he hit the blue explosion. I'm not sure, but he spins out. One of the most insane banana snipes I've ever seen from KNO, and then Lewis still has a red after the blue and hits KNO on the line. That was such a crazy interaction. But in the end, that's Lewis taking first there.
I mean, even though
hitting the blue.
Such a good play from KNO, and also Lewis too, but such good play from KNO right there, just to get the. I mean, he just demolishes their top 3 right there. Gets to the red onto worst. Blues Manu, and then banana snipes him, and then getting almost that first place, but unfortunately gets rendered on the line. And Lewis, I honestly, even though that happened, a very good heads up play from Lewis just to red KNO out of there and saving that race. But this makes it such a tight. Final 4 races right here, as that top 3 for Japan or for Mexico gets whittled down to only a +1.
Yeah, that was one of the most insane race endings I've ever seen in MKTour. Absolutely crazy stuff from KNO. But they're gonna have to continue to keep that up from not just KNO, from all of Japan, as they're still down. And the race count is slowly dwindling here for them to make this happen. They can take it right here. This is match 2. All they need is just this one win here.
And now Manu holding a mega.
For Manu.
Yeah, we'll see if he opts to use it just to catch up, or maybe to get out some of the Japan members behind him, or early top 3 now for.
Getting taken out.
Yeah, early top 3 now.
He could go for like a slow down mega play here. Opting to hold it for now, as it does look like Pepe's in last at the moment. Heart for Ozlima right now. Yeah, gonna opt to use the mega, try and hit him. I don't think he does.
It's fine though. I think he might just get some protection right here.
He wants
Shrooms is kind of sketchy here, but I think
not the greatest goal. It extends Mexico's lead, but
yeah.
Japan are all going to come up from the shortcut right now.
Oh, I think he gets
And
redded
there's the
right
red.
there, but that should be fine. He does have the shroom right there. Recover pretty
Recovers.
easily.
2 bananas. He could go for some.
Zinma right now
spam.
in third.
Yeah.
What he has, I think he has
Doesn't look
a.
like he has an.
Oh, I thought he had
He
a.
has an item.
Sí, tengo bocina.
Oh, the snipe from Manu.
Wow, another banana snipe. 2 races in a row. Absolutely insane from Manu here.
Ya puedes subir.
Osumi
Now
does
has
have
the
a.
screen.
Oh, he has to be careful of the bomb.
This bomb is.
Por favor, no quiero morir, no quiero morir.
Yeah, I think Ozuima just has to maintain. But the shroom at the very end, I think that gets Manu third.
Yeah, it
Top
does.
3 for Mexico.
What a play! Just amazing play right there from Manu right there. And I think yeah, the shot pulled by I think Pepe right there. Very clutch of him to stay in 8th place right there and pull the shot. And that makes the lead so substantial for Mexico now. Yeah, a huge sigh of relief for Mexico, but it's still not over yet.
There's still time left, but this
helps so
exactly
much.
what Mexico needed.
This helps so much.
And yeah, we didn't even see Worst in first for that entire race. He was just gone.
Yeah.
Great stuff from him.
Sí. Un rayito a mimir. Mega.
Sí, igual Mega también.
And now Yoshi Valley R. This track also being very detrimental with the shock. We saw this last week, USA versus Mexico. I believe it was match 1 where the shock completely turned this race around for USA. Will we see the same thing here? Honestly, yeah, this is race 10. I think if Pepe pulls another shock here, this could just be the end of the war.
I'm already taking that
I
very.
believe your scores are mixed up again.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah.
This is a plus 20 right now for Mexico.
Yeah.
So.
Plus 15 for them. Yeah.
Shroom for Manu. Only Ozuimu in second right now, but he's surrounded by Mexico here. I think what Mexico's going for here is this catch-up play.
Right. Yeah. Which is
power items.
It's understandable from them.
And I think Ozuimu taking the wide path, trying to avoid this red, but yeah, he'll pull double reds of his own, but they're not going to connect. Lewis managing to hold first. Star coming up for a Japan member, I believe. And that was a little bit of a sketchy nano.
Yeah.
Lewis still surviving in first right now.
We're not sketchiness, right? Oh, this egg's gonna be kind of scary. No, get hit.
Yeah, I mean to go around that. That's Worst back in 6th right now, and Pepe is in last. If he pulls the shock, then this top 2 is going to be very hard to break. We see a Mega and a Star in play, I believe, behind KNO right now.
KNO right now. Oh, that green is so scary for Manu.
Green, oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, it finally breaks, but Ozuimu coming up in a Star. I think that connects on the
Oh
Manu.
no, but KNO gets it out.
He'll get redded on the line.
1, 3, 4, 8, and another shock pull from MKTour right there.
That was the shock being held by Pepe, and Japan have to play the biggest 2 races of their life if they want to secure this match 2 right now.
That funny. Did you see that funny egg interaction right there?
But Japan, they have to all run, and they have to play like the 2 most insane races of their life. This lead is. And
honestly, if there was any team that could do it, it is Japan. You can pull off that all run. And even though he is their bagger, he is one of the best players in Lounge right now. I think he is #1 in Lounge right now. So it would be very interesting to see him play. And it's going to be on Singapore too, which is kind of sketchy because of all the respawn strats. So there could be some
This is the normal version, so there is one respawn. I don't think the respawn is that great on this version. It does save with a mushroom, but I don't think it's that crazy. So I don't even know if we'll see it affect too much. But yeah, like you said, N being Japan's bagger right now, but you know, we've seen him #1 in lounge multiple seasons, master rank. He knows what he's doing in the front.
We do opt to see a. I think they are. Oh no, they are all running. Yeah.
Early red. That's such a risky place to throw it. I don't think that hits anyone. I think everyone just continues forward.
Yeah.
So good try from him.
Early first from
right
Kena right now. A shroom right now for Manu. Oh, he somehow avoids the
don't know where
red.
that red goes. This section right here is so chaotic.
Yeah.
So narrow.
Early
There's a lot
top
going on.
two. This could be a lock for Mexico if this does keep up.
He gets the box in first too, so Lewis is able to protect him with reds.
And there's a blue shell held by Worst.
Yeah, Worst holding this blue right now as well. Snipe
Oh!
attempt. No, he hits his teammate there. Or wait, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, and I think he did actually.
No, he doesn't. Did he? Okay,
Yeah,
Bill
he
coming
did,
in,
yeah.
probably from N. 3-4 right now for Japan, but this top two needs to go right now, like yesterday.
Mm-hmm. He does hit the blue out.
Blue. Yep, Star coming in for KNO, just in desperation, trying to break up these mid spots.
2-3-4 right now for Japan.
It's not enough though. It's not enough.
2-3-4-5.
Star coming in. That's first taken out.
Oh, Manu gets
taken out there.
Top 2-4-5 for Japan.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Plus 15 for Japan.
And that makes it
where does that put them though?
That puts them -7 going into the last race.
Okay, so that is exactly what they needed, but +7, well, that's to tie. They need a +9. +9 is not an easy feat by any means. And this is Daisy Cruiser R. This is a 3-box track.
It'd be interesting to see if Japan opts to all run here or go back again.
I mean, everything's on the line right now for them. They can end this. They can end this series right here. I think they might have to just risk it and all run again. Like they are playing for literally everything. I would all run if I were them, but we'll see what they opt to do here. This is a 3-box track, so and
I think they are all running.
I think they are. They're risking the all run.
Very interesting.
Early draft for Manu. And I think that no, that does not connect. Top 2 early for.
Oh, but he gets hit out immediately.
By KNO, that's huge. 2-3-4, leaving just Lewis in the front. Double red pull right away for
really
KNO.
brutal.
But look at this, Mexico's breaking back up into the front already. Okay, maybe not anymore. Looks like they kind of were contesting, but they're still in 4-6. This, yeah, he just takes him out. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Holding for just another set here.
I think Lewis is he's trying to guarantee that first place right there for Japan. Yeah, I think he's going to try to hope for M2. Oh, shot comes out.
Oh, no, shock.
And Manu dodges.
Or that's gotta.
Yeah. But Japan dodges too.
Mexico shock. That had to have been a Mexico shock, honestly.
Yeah, I think it was a desperate shock right there. And
Manu just needs, if he keeps first here, that's it. They take match 2, and it looks like he's going to.
Hold that red out the line. That's not going to be enough.
2-3-4, that's not enough. They needed first there. That's going to be Mexico taking match 2. We're going to a game 3.
Oh my goodness, Mitch. Yeah, +2 for or +4 for Mexico right there. And honestly, Mitch, I think that shock play, while risky, was so smart. Getting Manu that guaranteed first,
Siempre empezamos mal al
just to
principio
secure that
y
first
luego
place right there, is
todo
so
se-
key.
hay esperanza ahí.
Yeah.
Uf, man, casi la
Because again, that's
pechamos.
all. Although I am
No, la de
looking back at
Singapur estuvo-
No, la de
the
Singapur fue
stream, and it
horrible.
does look like N
tenían
was in
todo, o sea, que a
last.
nosotros tengamos
Hmm.
So I'm not actually sure who used that,
bien.
but
¿Por qué? Porque pues ahí tienen experiencia ellos jugando.
I
it
think
very well
it
could
may have been
Japan,
It might have been
honestly,
also
out of
Pep.
desperation.
It also might have been Pepe, like just getting it and catching up.
Bueno, voy
Yeah,
And then
I'm
trying to-
not sure.
Yeah, we'll see.
I couldn't really tell.
Yo.
But-
no sé.
Pasemos un bolillo, Worst.
I mean,
Sí, sí, sí.
Un bolillo para el susto.
it's hard to say because, like, I mean, in Japan's scenario, they're very like almost playing out of desperation with all
Right.
the top spots
Mhm.
Mexico had, or I mean, with Mexico in first, they're playing out of desperation. You know, if they have hearts and shock, they probably were just gonna opt to use it regardless, even if even if there's a star in play, because they're not paying attention to stuff like that. They're just
Right.
trying to get first.
Mhm.
So it very well could have been Japan, but at the same time, could have been, like you said, a risky Mexico shock to get Manu the guaranteed first. He came up with a star.
Sí, lo sé. Es-
And this is for all the marbles right now. This is the finals right now, and our finals are going to game 3. I think this is the first game 3 we've had in a finals, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. Yep. Japan took the win versus Mexico in 2020 in 2 games. And back then, actually, I'll get to that in a second. But then in 2021, USA coming out with the win in two wars as well.
So this is our first ever game 3.
And finals, yeah. And I do want to point out that at this point in 2020, this finals matchup, Japan was just unmatched that year. Like they were just unbeatable. They did not take a single loss in 2020. Their first loss actually came from Mexico, believe it or not, in 2021 in the semifinals. That was their first ever loss in World Cup. And this is now their second.
Slowly but surely.
Other than USA,
Yeah.
obviously. Other than USA. So
And Mitch, if we do look at the tracks right now, if you look at the tracks right now that are coming up, we might see another Yoshi Valley R right there. We might see another Daisy Cruiser R. Kind of a lot of these tracks kind of, you know, we have a good mix. We have a good mix of catch-up tracks. We have a good mix of runners. We have MKTour, which is also a really big bagger. We can't really see that now, but I will get that up just in a bit. But yeah, very, very interesting mix of tracks for the last few races. And Mitch, I want to say that I think, I mean, we can talk about Lewis, we can talk about the runners, but I think MKTour did a really good job nabbing the shocks right there. I mean, they weren't like key shocks from Mexico, except for that very last one, or potentially that very last one, but getting those shocks just to prevent N from getting shock and is so key. I think match 1 he struggled a little bit versus N, but I mean, it's the same story again, where he got outbagged last match 1, then match 2, match 3, he kept on getting those shocks. So same story right now for MKTour.
yeah, there were multiple races where Mexico pulled shock when Mexico was in tough spots. They just didn't need to use it. He was just holding it.
Yeah, but it's so
preventing
key.
Japan from doing anything to break the top. And yeah, that's exactly what was needed from Pepe in response to that first matchup. So adapting really well, but they're gonna need to do it again for 12 more races.
Right, and as I mentioned right now, a lot of key tracks right now for in this last set of 12 tracks in the World Cup, actually. And yeah, before we do go into that, I do have a little bit of an announcement. I think this was kind of been known for a bit that we will be having another edition of this, but we will be having the return of CWL. CWL will be coming back. Season 9 will be coming back for starting Sunday, September 18th. So you guys have a ton of time to register for CWL. We are also recruiting for some staff. If you want to help run the divisions, if you want to help with seating and whatnot, we are looking for staff members for that. So if you want to help out or even participate in CWL, we will have a sign up prepared after the tournament or after this match, and we will be having signups for that available. And yeah, you guys have a lot of time. You guys have until the season will start on September 18th, but you guys have until September 11th to register your teams and whatnot. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good time. I hope you guys enjoy the new CW season, or enjoy the. I think this will be the final CWL for the year, and then we will be taking a break until the new year. But yeah, CW season 9 will be coming back on Sunday, September 18th.
Yeah, this is huge because we've not had a CWL since I think the season 8 ended in April, right? So
Right, yeah.
in such a long time coming. So
it'd be very
excited
interesting to see, because I think
really come back.
I think a lot of teams have leveled up from World Cup prep, so it'll be very interesting to see how the playing field will stack this time around for CWL. I'm actually really one team that I'm really excited for to see is Team Racing Berserker, because I know that a lot of the members have played for that El Salvador team that made it to semis, and it'll be very interesting to see if they will place in Division 1, and if they do place in Division 1, how they'll do, or if they can take Division 2, because they were really strong before last season in Division 2, but unfortunately could not finish the job right there in Season 2, or in Division 2. So it'll be interesting to see how they would do. Be interesting to see how Dynamite Sapphire will do as well. They are the, I think, 3-time back-to-back champions at this point, or 2-time.
2-time, and then before that, CWL 6 was DY Ruby.
Right, so. Yeah. So it'll be very interesting to see if they can retain their cup, even with the, I think, kind of losses against a very strong team in Saber Dragon, which composes a lot of Japan players, and Mexico as well, which consists of lots of SDK members as well. So it'll be very interesting to see how that will play out in the NCWL. But yeah, not to take it anyway, I do see 7 in room right now. But yeah, Mitch, this is gonna be very exciting to see. Finals right now, 1-1 for both teams. This is it. This is gonna be the final World Cup match for the 2022 MKTour World Cup. Or yeah, this will be the final set of races. And honestly, this has been a really fun tournament. I've been having so much fun casting it, hosting it. It's a little stressful, but it's been a lot of fun. I've been really excited to see how these teams perform. a lot of nice upsets, a lot of teams showing out and performing really well, and I'm very happy to see another successful World Cup for Mario Kart Tour.
Yeah, this has been the best World Cup, I think, in terms of just competitiveness and overall results, overall, upsets, just overall performance of every team has been amazing this year. So it's been great to see. Looks like we're getting right into it.
Yeah, we are getting right
match
into
3.
it.
One thing I do want to point out, like we've already mentioned, this is the first Game 3 in a World Cup, Mario Kart Tour World Cup Finals. And one thing I do want to point out is this is the first time that Japan has played a Game 3, I believe. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. They played a Game 3 against Mexico last year in semifinals, but this is the first time in a finals matchup that they've gone to a Game 3. Whether, and it was 2 games for them, whether it was a win or a loss, they only played 2 games in finals. So, meanwhile, Mexico has played Game 3s in playoffs several times, including just last week. So Mexico, it's fresh in their mind what this Game 3 mindset, what this pressure means for them. Japan may not have that experience as much.
Yeah, and we see we see that immediately right now. Uncharacteristic mistakes right there, hitting the trails for Kano and Zinma. The early lead for Mexico right now, and Ozuimu right now can't get the box in, or gets the box in second, but Hart right now, I think that Hart does protect Lewis right there, and that's gonna be a top 2-4 for Mexico right now.
Did we see any subs, by the way?
I did not see any subs.
I'm used to Japan making a substitution every match, so I didn't see if there was one. And I'm not sure if Mexico is this worst.
Yeah, Merce
okay,
is still
so
playing.
Mexico didn't make any subs.
Yeah, I see Ozuimu, Zinma, and Kano all in, so it does not look like any subs are there. That's a very interesting hit, right?
Yeah. One thing to point out, I think this is the first time that Japan has not made a substitution in between a match.
Yeah, so,
they've always had a sub. So this is really interesting to see them. They're using the exact same lineup here.
Shot coming in for Japan, I believe.
Be Japan. Top 2 now, going into the last set.
This is gonna be really big for Japan.
Mission Valley. He gets the box in second as well, but he had a star in pocket. I didn't even see that. Yeah, huge top 2.
Yeah,
many bombs on the line, but Manu just powers through all of them. And yeah, top 2 for Japan.
Yeah, I mean, and making his presence known at the very beginning, getting that early shock in. And I think the key, has been honestly these shock pulls right now for both teams, honestly. Shock, while I think it's kind of funny because you wouldn't expect it out of these two teams, but these shock pulls have been very, very key in deciding these races, either preventing a team from getting shock or just using it to catch up and whatnot. But very, 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 very interesting to see shock being played like that in this finals match right now.
Yeah, and that shock was interesting because it was, kind of in the middle of nowhere without any boxes. In a situation like that, Japan could have opted to wait and shock Mexico's top 2 after the last set, but they opted to play unpredictably and shock just kind of in the middle of the lap, and it paid off for them as they were able to break away.
Yeah, I think it does pay off as well because they do also have that second item slot, and that star was really, really huge for Zinma right there. As we are going to Singapore Speedway 2 right now, and 2-3 right now for it looks like a top 2 actually for Japan right there, and I think Oh, it looks like he bagged him. Just kind of an interesting play right there.
Pueden vaquear las rocas.
Wait, that was a nice lag.
He-
Drizzle.
yeah.
Lags a trail out right
Like-
there.
But that allows Ozuima to get 2 boxes
Ooh.
and probably 2 reds, and he'll
Yeah.
take one of them from a trail.
No les pasa nada.
Mega being held by Worst here. In 4th, this could be dangerous. Heart for Lewis in 3rd as well.
Oh, that is a huge
that,
red.
that doesn't connect though, I don't think. It's gonna lag, so
Yeah.
Worst. Oh, but that's...
No, era rápido.
I think it was a shocking
That's
play.
a shock.
Yeah, there's a shocking play. It's a top 3 right now for
That was...
Mexico.
You literally switched at the perfect time. We didn't see it. That was a shock, and now top 3 for Mexico.
Hay plata.
Ah, bien, estrella, ¿no?
¡Ah, la agarré!
Agarré la estrella.
And what is this?
Sí, 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 sí. Vámonos.
What did I just watch?
I think I
I'm so
saw this.
confused.
I think I saw some MKWee magic right there. Oh, he's gonna dodge this. He has to be
Blue isn't
careful.
even gonna matter.
Yeah, but
Ooh, a bit of miscommunication. Luckily, he doesn't hit his teammate, but
I think worst one is
Whoa.
get hit by the blue right there.
what did I just witness?
Did Star splits?
Y estaba por la
Oh,
izquierda.
there was a ground star on the steps there. I didn't even see it.
Yeah, there was a ground star, and I think it
I saw it in
split.
the replay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they split it. I literally didn't even see that.
That's
It
why I
was on
said,
the very edge of
dude,
the
that's
steps
some,
there.
dude, we're getting PTSD from Mario Kart Wii, bro. From the
Okay,
split
so-
stars.
That had to have been a Mexico shot.
That is a
right?
Mexico shock. That is a Mexico
So
shot.
Japan dropped the star there. That
Right.
that had to have been N star.
Yes, yes.
And that just secured that. Oh my gosh, I've never seen that. A ground star dropping from a bagger. We see that all the time in Mario Kart Wii, but I've never seen that in Tour before. That was crazy. That secured them
Unfortunate
to
for
top 2.
them, yeah. Unfortunate for them though that it happened, or Japan that it happened to Mexico. Kind of not the best play there, but you know it happens and whatnot.
That like
I've never seen a split star ever in Mario Kart Tour. That's crazy. I'm flabber. I'm at a loss
it's
for
like
words.
the Mario Kart Tour version of that. I don't know if you recall that there's a clip from Mario Kart Wii World Cup where I think Max splits. He drops a ground star on BC3, and it splits between Frozen and Casper or something on the line. Like the Mario Kart Tour version of that. Like
Yeah, but
crazy
unfortunately it was
stuff.
N. It was unfortunately N star.
And it was, ironically, it was the enemy team's star. Yeah.
All right, now early top tier right now for Mexico, but honestly, these first few, first lap kind of doesn't really matter too much. Really nice shroom pull. He's gonna opt to get up here, and that's gonna be probably a 2-3 right now for Japan. Nope, 2-4.
Red getting lagged from Ozuimu. So Worst is safe for the moment in first place. Manu could just opt to take second right here with a much horn. That drop horn doesn't connect, but that bomb will. And that also hits Lewis. But top 2 now for Mexico right now.
Tengo estrella y escudo.
That drop, good attempt on the drop horn.
Shot coming
honestly. I
into
like
play
that,
right now.
but- Oh no, Japan dodges, but he hits a ground item afterwards, so he
Yeah.
won't be able to take first now off
And
of that.
I think
That's such a
Mexico
crucial
keeping
hit.
that. Ooh, this is gonna be really tight right here. If he's this bomb is so
This
scary.
bomb. How did he not trigger that? That was crazy. Oh, this shroom though should confirm
Yeah.
first for him, I think.
Oh my goodness!
Oh
No, it
my-
doesn't.
No way. No way. They get top 3 from that. Oh my gosh. He goes wide to predict like a snipe. They throw the snipe wide anyways, and that misses, but he gets redded. Absolutely crazy.
That was such a chaotic. Honestly, Japan just played that so hard. They had a perfect opportunity to catch up there and just flubbed it.
Yeah, they dodged and hit a ground item. Third place, he hit a ground item going into the set there. So he couldn't make the catch-up happen in time.
I do want to
That
say,
was
I think
so
that was
crazy.
Manu made another amazing play right there, just getting that red off just in time, just to hit out Kano. And that was such a missed opportunity from Japan, though. They dig the dodges, but they just hit the ground items. They hit I think I saw someone also hit the table as well. And it's just not unfortunate plays right there for Japan, and Mexico capitalizes on that heavily. You cannot be making those mistakes like that.
No. No. Could this be Japan just cracking under the pressure now?
It might not even be pressure. Yeah, it might be pressure.
This is the first time they've been in a Game 3 scenario in finals.
It might also be pressure. It just might be fatigue as well. They've been playing they're on race what, like 25 or something like that.
This is like race 28.
Yeah, this is a lot of races. So I think they should be kind of familiar with it. They do play a lot of FFAs there, which are around this big, but I know they do spread out those FFAs within 2 days. So kind of interested to see how they would play right now. This is a really good pull from Kano right now. The double shroom. And Lewis does get hit out. This is actually really good, yeah.
Now he has the shroom in first. Okay, the play on this track is to use the shroom early because this is the only shortcut on the track, and it's actually such a huge cut.
Yeah, this track is
this grass cut right here is absolutely huge.
Kano will do it. I think worst one does as well.
But yeah, he's no longer protected by his teammate. Double protection for him, which is great.
Oh, this bomb could be huge from worst one.
Bomb in second.
It'd be opposite, throw it. Goes for it.
Great opportunity right here.
Doesn't connect.
Yeah, gonna be a little too wide, but red throne. Not gonna connect yet, as he had double protection. Still has his green shell.
Oh, this is so scary. Manu takes in first place.
There.
But I like the play.
Yeah. But
oh, Manu has to be very careful.
Gonna be so scary.
See, he edges out.
Anymore draft?
Yeah, I think that's a draft. Gets the first place. What a play from Manu.
Huge. Absolutely huge. I don't even think he drafted that. He just outlined Kano.
It might have been, honestly. I think it was a draft.
I think it was an outline. Like, that was just, like, he didn't even draft.
Yeah, I think Kano
Really
was probably trying to play it safe right there, but unfortunately does not get the play in time. And Mitch, Mexico is running away with this. Well, I wouldn't say running away with this, but they're slowly building a really big lead right now. It's only minus 12, but still pretty big lead.
I think in that scenario, like Kano, he doesn't see any reds. He just has to play aggressive.
Right.
With aggressive driving, that is. Like there's items in play, but he doesn't, like, there's no reds. Like he realistically doesn't get hit.
Can he see that though? In the back camera? Could you see that in the back camera?
I mean, he probably could have seen first at the very least.
Okay.
And
I mean, he knows that Manu has the box, right? Yeah,
I believe.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Kano could have handled that a little bit better driving wise, but regardless, he holds second, and that's what's important there because his other teammates were not able to be in the front.
Early shroom for Manu. He's gonna just take the shroom card right there. Same with Ozuimu. So 2-3 right now for Mexico, but handling that all important first place right now. Gonna take this little NIS cut right here. Kind of a cheeky little cut right there. I think he's gonna draft up here. Does. He might trail right here. I think he's trying to go for the draft. I think he gets. No, he doesn't. Yeah, Ozuimi is still keeping first place. Drops the second, which is very smart of Ozuimi to do. Trying to get Manu that first place. Manu trying to do the same as well.
Yeah, dropping out, but that gives top 2 to Japan here. 2 shrooms, but he'll draft right into
and that's
gonna
be a huge lead for Japan right there.
He has to chain this.
But a blue
shell coming in. Yeah, that's Kano getting taken out. Only one red and a shroom there for Ozuimu, so he's gonna maintain first. But 2-3-4 now for Mexico.
2-3-4 right now, and what a
glider.
You're going for the
mask. I think Ozuimu just takes the one on the ground. So he's still safe somehow in first, but that's not going to last too much longer here. But Manu has the shroom. He could touch the box in first, but I'm not sure
what happens here. Yeah, gets the shroom off right there, and top 3 right now for
suddenly
Mexico.
Oh my gosh.
Es-
I think Ozumima just gets taken out, and there's just no answer from Japan right now.
Top 3 for Japan.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
4, 5, 6 for Japan. Top 3 for Mexico.
Manu MVP, Manu MVP.
They're running away with this.
They're properly running away with it now.
Cuando dijo el Worst is Flat, y varios
Yeah,
niños
I
de
think
primer
Manu
lugar,
streamed ahead of
todavía varios la
Ozuimu, so that
pasaron.
Worst could red him, probably, I think is what happened there.
Ah, ya sube Pepe.
Sí, sí, le dijimos
This
ayer,
is
¿no?
just insane.
Sí.
Oh, opa,
Creo que
Pepe
es-
7, Pepe 7.
Opa, buena.
I think this is the first time we've really seen Japan
Venga, venga.
honestly get, I would say,
Jugadas así,
I mean, this might be a little too far, but they're getting dominated right now. This is the first time since I've seen from.
pensarle mucho.
My memory's a little bit hazy from the finals last time, but
Pero seguro.
I don't remember how were the matches close in the 2021 MKT finals.
Well, I think one of them was close, and then the other one was not. But off the top of my head, I don't.
Sí, sí, sí.
Yeah. So one match was plus 28, and one match was plus 6.
Right, yeah.
Sí, sí, sí.
I think this is like for sure. This is the biggest lead in this series so far
Buena.
100%.
for anyone, but like.
Oh, we see
Mexico
two
football
disconnections
team.
from Mexico. Or sorry, from
Interesting.
Japan, and I think we might see some members getting subbed out from Japan actually.
Sí, sí. A ver si no se nos va el internet. Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's possible, yeah. I'm not sure who they have on deck other than Nozomi. We saw him in match 1. I'm not sure
Pero
who else they
imagina
have.
obligar a Japón a hacer cambio de aires. Rick.
Para que haga un cambio de aire, sí está
Sí.
interesante ver qué preparan ahorita.
And for
Ah, no me salió.
Zuimu is still racing, so Zuimu, are we gonna stay in?
Otra vez ver qué copa es para las configuraciones.
Ajá.
But it's kind of interesting. I just want to say Mexico is playing this really, really well. I think their pack play has been impeccable, especially in match 3.
A la casa de tu amiga.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is prime Mexico right now.
Okay.
And again, it's like this is not the Mexico that we saw in group stage.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
They had to warm up into it, but this is like peak Mexico play right now.
You know, it took them a while, but they're playing their best MKTour in the finals of the World Cup. That's a perfect
And
time.
that's when they need it. So I mean, you can't really fault them.
Pero le pasaron a
This
él,
is when it
pasaron a él en
matters,
México, no
so.
al hermano.
Creo que sí.
¿Eso qué?
No
Mis
sé.
viewers.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Japan is bringing out now with this disconnect.
Sancho.
Vamos. Las copas, pues bueno ver qué copas sí. Ah, pues vamos no.
¿Dónde estaban las copas?
Yeah, kind of interesting to see what's going on right now. If we take a look at the... Yes, we are at 46, so we are going to be going to Drazy Cruiser T. And we're going to be starting on that Toadette Cup right there. And, I mean, those tracks... Kind of... I mean, we have one runner and 2 catch-up tracks right there.
But then, one thing I do want to point out is they're probably going to reach. It's likely they get to the Navit Cup and we see Mario Circuit 2 RT. That's not a track we've seen yet tonight. And that track is one of the most like variable tracks. There are so many different outcomes that can come from that track. It's like, you know, sometimes it's it can be runnable. Shock for sure if it's pulled is just it can cause insane upsets, but
We do...
definitely a track that can swing so many different directions.
I do want to interrupt here. It does look like Japan has a substitution in Haruru. I think going in for Kano. So, kind of interesting to see.
Sí.
we're not starting yet, but kind of interesting to see that are subbing out Kano right now for her, who hasn't played. How much has Haru played? A little bit in the World Cup, right, in the group stage, but this is the first time we've seen Haru play.
No, Haru hasn't played at all this year.
Oh wow!
This will be the first time we're seeing him. We saw him last year in the semifinals and finals, and he was he was a crucial part of that main lineup last year. But I honestly am surprised he didn't play until now.
I mean, at least this is the perfect time to have Haru right there, and I believe Kano will be subbed out. So try to get a POV from Japan right now, if possible. But it looks like we will be running with Manu for the time being.
No, dice que se van a seguir quedando.
¿Cómo sabes?
Sí, yo creo que sí, ¿no?
¿Cómo sabes?
Yeah, we are going to Daisy Cruiser T right now.
Es mejor jugar a la...
Sí, mejor
Decíamos que hacen esto, cambiamos de
a
estrategia.
seguir igual.
Es mejor porque en la primera war nos tumbaron bien
Espera,
con un rayo.
se va a quedar Aruru.
And yeah, here we go. Back into it here. Mexico up
El Grandmaster
by, what is that, 25?
Yep, 25.
Yeah, good. I can do math. So, biggest lead we've seen for this entire series.
And wow, immediate hit out.
Onto Manu, just completely obliterated there.
That's
now
early.
1-3 for Japan.
Yeah.
1-4 for Japan, even. And is running, by the way.
I think that we might see Haru bagging.
Might be bagging.
Yeah, Haru might be bagging. It's a very interesting play to see them do this. We'll see if we can get an NPOV actually coming in after this race, but yeah, run through right now. This is a really good pull for Manu right now, but unfortunately, one of the reds does get trailed out. So if Japan doesn't have a protection, then ooh, that protection does come out from Japan, and the red does hit out. And oh my goodness, what a slowdown from Ozuimu!
Yeah, he hits the table. That's huge. He'll still get the box in first, but that allows a Japan member to come up with him here. So he has teammate support right now. Worst in a heart, he can play very aggressive right now.
Yeah.
And he'll actually get ahead of a Japan member, and I think they'll get redded for it.
I think another Japan member comes out. Oh wait, no, never mind. It's just
laggy. Trolls on the line coming out, but they're not going to connect. So it's still a 1-3 for Mexico. Oh my. Yeah, the lead is just getting bigger and bigger here. This is starting to look really dire for Japan. Shock comes in. I think a late shock pull for Haru, I'm assuming, because he was in last, but...
Es que me acordé de la abuelita. Es que me acordé de una abuelita que decía eso.
Yeah, we'll have to... See, like...
Sí, no sé por qué se...
Oh my gosh,
that was a
like,
1-3-5-7,
I can't,
right?
like... This is just getting worse and worse. Like, Japan are not making any... Like, they got into the top at the end, but Worst can just break it immediately because he's in a heart.
This is looking really, really rough for Japan. I think that was 2-4-6-8 for Japan too, right? So down 30, I believe.
Who is this, by the way?
Oh, this is N. So
okay,
yeah.
So N, like we've talked about before, N has held the #1 rank in Lounge multiple seasons. Master, one of the best Lounge players in the game. He knows his way around the front, knows how to deal with lag, pack play, all of that stuff. So interesting to see how he handles this World Cup finals running here.
You will opt to...
He's alone in second right now as well.
I like that play right there, trying to hit out
early.
Yeah, trying to hit that the guy in second, but unfortunately...
Mega, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Manu in first.
That's Manu in first now.
I believe Manu does have a shroom right there in first right now. Yeah, obviously do the cut right there. I think still has it, but gonna be
for N here. He has a
the
bomb, but that's all he's got.
This is not really that great of a pull for N because there's gonna be so many people taking the cut here. Oh,
He can red worst right now.
Yeah, he does.
Yep.
Oh,
no,
what,
he doesn't. Worst gets first. He lags through that red shell. That's, oh my gosh, that's so huge for him.
Yeah.
That, I don't know how that didn't connect. I really don't. He may have been too far ahead, I guess. So the red just skipped him. But that
Yes.
honest, like, man, that, I don't know if that's lucky, but definitely unlucky for N, but we're keeping, like, so clutch, if anything.
And this Mexico lead is so huge right now. -31 going to race 8. And they're running out of time.
This is dire.
Yeah.
This is again, the biggest lead we've seen in this series. This might be the most that Japan has ever been down.
Yeah.
In a World Cup match. Maybe though USA had been up by more at some point, but this, like, there's so little time left. I think realistically, if this race goes well for Mexico, I think Japan just has to run the last 3. They can't bag anymore. They have to risk it. So it's really going to come down to this, right? Oh, I think they're already running. Yeah, they are. Japan going for the all run on Yoshi Valley. That's a very risky strategy. This track, the shock very much determines how this track will go. So that's a red pull for Manu. N has to be very careful.
Oh,
but not to be careful enough. He'll get trailed. Heart pull for him.
Yeah,
and that's one Mexico member in first. Or sorry, Japan member in first.
Oh, the double shrimp pull is so huge right here. They're just going to take the top 2 right now. But I think worse from this get taken out.
I believe, and okay, he recovered with a mushroom, I believe.
Yeah, so 1, 3, 4 right now.
So still only one Japan member in this top right now. They got to break this now. Mega comes in for Zinma. He's in a heart too. So now so they actually drop and get Zinma.
Oh, this is such a huge pull. I think they're all running too.
Crazy pull.
Wait, we see Mexico in bottom 2, so that means they are all running.
Suddenly, worst gets taken out, and just has to go crazy with this pull.
Yeah.
Right now. Push all the way up. He turns off smart steering for the specific moment. Oh, but he can't play aggressive because of his teammate. But I don't think it's gonna matter.
1, 3, 4, 5. Wow, that's the race.
This is what they need. This is the star need right now.
This is such a clutch race from Japan right now.
I was gonna say he had to yield for his teammate in the cut, but it didn't matter. They were all there. All of Japan was there at the end. Crazy.
Yeah, and that -31 becomes a -1, which is honestly enough. 2 more races like that, and they're in the lead. But such a huge race coming out from Japan right now. But they have to do it again. And
I'm stressed, and I'm not even playing, man. Like,
I'm excited. It's so exciting. Very interesting. I actually really like how they started all running right there, and they needed that all run there. I like how they also try to stay in 8th as well.
Paid off for sure.
Yeah, and I also like how they also stayed back there, so they can pull. There's a slight chance that they could pull the shock right there, which works out for them. And right now, 2, 3, 4 start 4. I think they're all running.
No, they're not. Okay, Haru is staying in 7th, I believe, but they're not bagging.
Oh, that was a really good play from Azumi right there, getting the first, getting one of the Mexico members out there, and that's an early lead for Japan.
I think Mexico might have snagged a second box here, but Manu's holding a mushroom, so he can only possibly have 1 red. He's gonna save his shroom. No, he won't. He'll go for an aggressive red early, and that puts Mexico in top 2 right away. Star for Lewis early.
And gonna stay in 7th right here. Let's see if
he's gonna have to stay in 7th right now for a couple sets at least.
We see Manu
Star
going
being used for Lewis, pushing up to the front right away. I think Ozuma gets hit by something as well. Mega being used. He's looking back, trying to look for shock. I don't know if he could see it.
Oh, this bull
Okay,
bill pull could be very important. I like this dropout from N right here.
Yeah, suddenly a 2-3-4 for Japan out of nowhere.
And the bill coming out right
Uses
now.
Bill right now. Yep, gonna drop him not in the best spot.
Yeah, but
and Worst has a Mega now.
Yeah, I think this is a good situation for N right here. He could get the dodge right here at the very end.
Worst is holding this Mega.
Yeah.
The very end. That could be a sign of
Yep,
something.
shot comes in, but 2 Japan members dodge right here.
Worst is not going to get hit now.
Oh, this is very scary.
The Shroom, not going to be enough.
Oh, Worst barely pushes
actually
out.
Gets first. That is so clutch. I don't know how he made. I mean, I guess he had a heart, so he could play aggressive and get a draft. I'm guessing that's what happened, but that is so huge. 3-6-7
right now for Japan, and going into the last 3 races, this is a really big lead for Mexico. And honestly, this is looking very scary for if you're cheering for Japan right here.
So now there's no question they have to all run.
Right. Yeah, there's no shot that they have to. I think the way Japan had it set up is pretty good. They did have 2 hearts in play, but Worst one doing such a good job.
Such good items.
Yeah, Worst one
such good items, and I think he got a draft too at the end.
Yeah, he did, and very close draft at the end right there, just to snag that first place right there. And going into race 10, it's going to be Coconut Mall, and I mean, other than the Shroom run, the all runs in play right now.
No Shroom.
This is gonna be bad for
an early trail. Usually like trails like that are pretty rare in that cut. Everyone usually is just shrooming and getting rid of their items. They all just kind of lag on each other, but unfortunately,
this bomb's gonna be scary. Oh my goodness. And early top 2 right now.
I don't know if that hits anyone, but early Japan top 2 and a star pull for Japan as well in this mid pack. That doesn't connect. Doesn't look like
it.
So Haru with nothing right now.
I think Manu's gonna take this cut right here.
Take this cut.
Oh, bananas! He avoids him so well.
Good avoidance.
Yeah.
And now again, another heart. He can play aggressive right now.
Might get reds here to take out Zinma. Gets double reds.
He could start right now. He's gonna wait. Actually, be patient with it. Oh, that's why blue coming in.
Oh, okay.
Manu just needs to keep first here. That's really all they need. And he has a bomb.
Oh, this bomb play could be huge. And they see the bomb. Right yep. And it doesn't look like it, but a 2-3-4-5 coming out from Japan.
Suddenly Japan catches up. That's a bottom 3 for Mexico. Huge race for them, but first would have been so nice.
Yeah, Manu doing a good job keeping.
Regardless, 2-3-4-5. What is that? Is that like a +9 maybe?
+7.
+7. Okay.
So -14 going into this 10th or 11th race, and
so so still 2 left here.
I mean, this is it.
And this is it right here. Like I mentioned, this SNES Mario Circuit 2. This track can go so many different ways. Like I mentioned, it can work very well for running if you get shrooms on lap 1. And N's gonna go for this Toadette strat here. Looks like Pepe will as well, but again, he's just gonna be an 8th.
Right, yeah, we're gonna see him stay in 8th place right now. And
this triple shroom could pull off very well if he can get it on the second set. He has a shroom already. Yeah, gonna burn it, try and get into second. So now he's gonna play protection for Haru, who has a shroom of his own.
I'm gonna try to get Lewis out right there. Yes, he does.
Manu, it was Lewis, you're right. I'm not sure if that connected, but
I think it did,
regardless. Bottom 2 and look how far behind they are, actually. Worse than Pepe back there in 7-8.
We do see Manu in a heart, and immediately the shot comes, and I think this might be curtains.
No, esa roja. Ay.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Like I said, Mexico was far behind, but will that matter? They're going to get really good chains on that first set. And this is almost a guaranteed first for Manu right now.
And right now, in third place, this is not going to be really good for him. He does get a shroom, but he has to be very careful of this Mega right now. Oh, that bomb is so scary.
Manu could get double redded, but that's all that could possibly happen to him. The triple shroom at the end is...
Oh my goodness,
no,
Manu's getting blue!
Ozuimu's trail. But does it matter?
Top 2
It doesn't.
force.
That's still such a huge race.
Huge race for Japan right there. Top 2 force
but
6.
Think about what that could have been. I think he could have gone third if he didn't get trailed.
But
will that matter though?
Oh my goodness!
Like I said, that's still such a huge race.
It's -1 Japan going into
no way
the final.
No way, it's -1.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! But again, like I said, they could be in the lead. Will that trail matter?
Oh my goodness!
Because like I mentioned, I'm not sure why Ozuimu even went the bottom path without shrooms.
I don't know.
That could bite them.
I mean, it could, but I mean, with this high pressure situation, there's going to be bound to be mistakes right here, but it doesn't matter. They do get that strong race, and they are within striking distance.
I don't know if you saw that, but Mexico got blued.
Yeah, Mexico did get blued.
Like I just noticed that right now. Like, oh my gosh, man. And we're gonna end it on Daisy Cruiser. And fitting that we're ending on the new track for this tour. Will it pay off for Mexico, or Japan gonna make this upset right here on the very last race? Early red pull in first for Lewis, actually. That's great for him. I think it gets... No, he still has it.
Right.
It gets lagged now.
And I see
Heart in third for Ed.
Yeah, and has a heart in third.
He gets a coin though. We saw the coin animation, so that's.
I think Haru's gonna play some. Yeah, Haru's gonna try to slow down there and probably
tried to lag it away, but not quite successful in doing so.
Oh my goodness, that red play was gonna be so close for him. Oh, but he gets another red.
There you go. That's Manu getting taken out. It's just Lewis, but oh no, En's gonna draft right into that trail.
It's gonna be huge.
Top 2, but bottom 2 for Mexico.
Oh, and gets hit into the
no. He gets bumped down to the bottom path.
I think that's gonna be hit for his race right there. Unless he pulls a last minute shock.
Japan has to do godly play and the blue pole.
Oh my goodness! Last minute shock. Oh, Manu hits the thing on the line. Oh, I think that's it.
It doesn't matter. That bill is huge for Pepe, and that's gonna be Mexico taking the 2022 World Cup.
Wow. Mexico has done it.
With a clutch bill on the line.
Clutch bill on the line.
Like,
clutch. Wow. That's an insane ending right there. And Mexico has finally done it. After 3 years of being so close, getting second and then third, they finally get past and get the first place, taking out a very formidable opponent in Japan. And oh my goodness, I am so proud of these guys. These players have been playing for such a long time, and finally they get that World Cup trophy. They're bringing it back to LATAM. They're bringing it back to Mexico. And this is very interesting to see right now. I mean, and they do it with the original 3 Mexican players, Lewis, Worst One, and Manu, all from SEK, and as well as MKTour. They did it with the SEK lineup, and they can take their victory lap, or they'll probably just chill out a little bit and whatnot. But I'm assuming they're going ballistic in call right now. I do want to mention that N did pull a last second shock there, which is nutty. And that was so scary, but it didn't matter because they were all in dodges and it was a little bit too late. But congrats to Mexico, man.
Like if you had told me that this was gonna be like Mexico was gonna win, like a month ago, I don't know if I would have believed it.
Yeah.
I like to make it to finals, sure. I think that was like they had a really good shot at that. But to beat Japan of all teams in finals, there's no way I would have ever expected this. But
And
Mexico played out of their minds.
Yeah, Mexico played so well.
The best Mario Kart Tour they've ever played. I can guarantee.
Yeah,
it.
and honestly, Mexico
Especially
played.
Manu.
Yeah, dude,
this whole time.
Manu. I think Manu in Worst One has done such a good job in making it. Just Manu in Worst One did such a strong job into like playing so well. Worst One having so many clutch moments. Same with Manu. Just getting up there at the very end and sneaking that first place right there that kept them, giving them the win, or just kept their momentum still strong. And I'm very, very happy for these people. And yeah, I mean, no ill will towards Japan. Another strong second place for them. Yeah, mixed champ for the first time in MKTour history, and we still haven't had a we still haven't had a minus or had a back or two-time champion yet. I'm gonna see if they're okay.
Honestly, I think this is the first time in Mario Kart World Cup history that like a different team has won in 3 consecutive years. Because we've seen, you know, dominance in Mario Kart Wii from USA and dominance from Japan in Mario Kart 8 just until this past year in 2021. This is the first time we've seen 3 different champions in 3 consecutive years. It just shows how close of competition there is across the world for this game. Just crazy. Like Mexico's run this year, one of the most impressive.
I think it's so different from other runs, right? Where we see Japan, from Japan and USA, like, yeah, they've had, I think Japan has some close, or was absolutely dominant. USA had some close matches, but at the end of the USA run, they were completely dominant. This is the first time where I've seen a team drop, what, 2 games in the group stage? Or in the tournament. I mean, actually, no, 3 games in a tournament and still win. It shows the resilience of this team, and I'm very, very, they're just have such a strong mental, and even they lost the match 1, which is crazy, and they reverse sweep again in semis and now in finals, and such a strong team. And
the like mental capacity it takes to do a sweep, not once but twice, against the top 2 seeded teams in a tournament. Like I've never seen anything like this. Absolutely insane from Mexico. I'm really happy for that. They really deserve it. Like this, like such a deserved win for them, being able to do really the unthinkable 2 years in a row, or 2 weeks in a row, I should say. Sorry.
Right, yeah, and you can see them celebrating right now in the chat right now. I'm so proud of these. I mean, some of these players have been playing for so long, and you know they've won CWO, but World Cup honestly is probably the hardest tournament I think to win, because there's so many strong players and whatnot, and you're so limited in who you can get and whatnot. And I mean, you've seen the work so far. I mean, at the beginning of this tournament, like, I think Mexico was looking, if they were dropping games, remember, to 2 different teams like Colombia and whatnot, who were not seen as strong, and then all of a sudden they just come back with a vengeance and just absolutely demolish. I think the first like 6 races that was played in this tournament, probably the best 6 races of Mario Kart Tour that's been played, I think, from Mexico ever. And that was like insane.
Yeah, really, this is up there as one of the best series of Mario Kart Tour matches ever. Not just in World Cup, but just ever.
And I think they do it in a traditional Mexico fashion where they lose the overall, but they win the best of, which is insane.
Absolutely crazy. So that final result, again, +6 for Mexico for that final war.
Yeah, +6, which is man. Well, I'm just seeing if they want to do an interview.
Okay, interesting.
I don't think they will. I think they're gonna be.
Would be hype, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be fun. I don't think they will. But yeah, I think that will do it. Ooh, we have a really nice drawing, I think, from Dawn, I think, which shouts down. I want to share this before we do go. I think it'd be good to end the stream on that. But yeah, we're gonna end the stream on that, I believe. But that is it for the World Cup. Thank you everyone so much for watching this. This has been such a fun series of events to really be casting as always. And did I say that right? I don't think I did. Fortunate. But you know, it's really fun. I've enjoyed this so much. It's always a pleasure to cast these matches and whatnot, and yeah, we will be again, congrats to really big, my goodness. Congrats to Mexico for winning this, and such a fun fashion as well as we go into it. Thank you, Don, again for the nice little thumbnail, but that'll do it. Mexico taking first place in the Mario Kart Tour World Cup. We'll end it off there, unless they want to do anything. Oh, they want to do it. Okay. They want to do an interview. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, worth mentioning while we set up here, again, huge congrats to Mexico on the win. And this will conclude the World Cup for this year. Here's our trophy from Don. Huge shout out to him for this.
Yeah.
Coming up on MK Central, I believe Mario Kart Universal Finals is this weekend, is it not?
I believe so, yes.
So I believe in D1 it's BRE and RK.
Yep.
In D1, so that will be casted on Sunday. In terms of Mario Kart Tour, like we said, CWL will be back in September. So there's still plenty of time, but that's what's coming up for Mario Kart Tour. And yeah, overall, I think Mario Kart Central going through a lot of exciting stuff right now between the new website, the new DLC for Mario Kart 8, a lot of cool stuff in the works coming up for the website. So yeah, really looking forward to all of that. And it looks
Yeah.
like we've got the Mexico.
Oh, they want to go in the
members.
Mex channel. That's fine for them. I think that's good.
Yeah. So
All
we
right,
got
we're gonna
Mexico
join the
members
Mexico channel
joining.
just to talk to them.
Yep.
All right.
Hey.
Oh. Ah, wait, no. We're being funny. Sorry. Hello. Hi. Sorry about the confusion.
All right.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, hi.
I just want to say congratulations, guys, for winning the World Cup. I'm honestly one of the most entertaining and one of the most fun. You guys were so fun to watch throughout the entire World Cup, and I just want to say, first off, congratulations. I'm assuming you guys are so ecstatic or very, very happy right now. I can tell from hearing the call a little bit.
Yeah, just this was one of the most insane Mario Kart Tour matches series I've ever seen. Definitely will be memorable, a memorable one for sure. Yeah, like some of the most insane play from both sides, but you guys absolutely killed it. It was amazing to watch.
Mm-hmm. So I guess the first question I ask is, I know, I mean, we can talk about the beginning. It was very, very hard, I think, at the beginning, especially with how Japan was playing. How did you guys, after losing match one, how were you guys feeling, and how did you guys prepare for match two after losing match one? Oh yeah, we have more. I can work speak. It's okay if not. It's fine. I can. Let me find.
Thank you. This was a very difficult match, especially the first one. As you say, different from the United States. We had a different feeling after the first match. So we tried to recover and try to do some changes. We didn't feel totally comfortable in the first match, but in the second, I think changes worked.
Yeah, I know, especially for you, Pepe, you were there was a little bit of problems in the first match with the shock, but you were pulling, I know in the second match you pulled a lot of shocks, and we noticed you were staying in eighth a lot more. I think you did a really good job in playing a lot better and playing really well in the second and third match. If Manu, or if anyone can translate, it's fine. If you can, then it's okay. But Manu, Luis, and Worst, if I don't think Worst is here, but how were you guys nervous going into match two after the loss, or were you guys like still like very calm going into match two?
Si estuvieron nerviosos después de perder la primera y empezar la segunda match, o trataron de controlar ese sentimiento que ustedes cargaban, los nervios que ustedes traían para poder concentrarse en la segunda match y obtener la victoria.
Okay, first of all, good night. We know that a start could define everything, even from the group stage. We know the potential of LATAM countries, and we appreciated also the events from Clan War League, even MKTour launch tournaments or Mojis as a preparation. And the ideal is to remain focused in that for the next match.
All right, thanks, Lewis, for the answer. I noticed that especially Manu and Worst, who's not there. You guys, we saw Manu has some really, really nice plays where he there's really good item play where he hits people out in the where he hits people out with a nice banana snipe or a nice green shell snipe. It's very, how important is, I guess, item play in your guys' gameplay compared to or how important is item play for you guys?
Importante fue su iron play durante estos matches y cómo resultó hacer una diferencia en todos estos juegos que hicieron.
Sometimes,
hermano jugó muy bien.
sometimes it depends a lot of get the item boxes in a favor of a team, right? So optimizing the difference of points by each raid, I think is the key in order to or win a lot of difference or losing. It's so lucky sometimes if we see in that races.
Yeah, so I think so. I know some races maybe you might not win the race, but it doesn't. But you wanted to guarantee a spot just to make sure that you guarantee the win for the war, and not just the race, but not just the race. Mitch, do you have any questions?
I think, yeah. So after I want to know the thought process you guys had after Yoshi Valley in the third war when Japan got 1-5. What was your thought process going into those last two races?
Que sí, ¿qué pensaron después de jugar la de Yoshi Valley? ¿Qué es lo que estaban pensando y qué es lo que planearon para remontar esos 5 puntos que les metió Japón?
You mean in the last match?
Yes.
Well, we were wondering if to keep the same strategy. You know, I was bagging, but I'm not the fastest. So we wanted to keep the strategy as much as possible. If the score just we couldn't like maintain it, so we were going to change it in the last two tracks. But fortunately, we could keep the score. But we were planning to change at any moment if it was necessary.
All right, thanks Pepe for the answer.
Sure, yeah, and I think that makes sense. You know, what you guys were doing up to that point was working really well, in that third match especially. Like again, we were talking about it during the war. I think that was the biggest differential Japan has been down by in any World Cup match ever. I don't even know if USA last year had a lead that big over Japan at any point. So really what you guys were doing was working well, and even despite having such a huge deficit or a race with such a huge deficit towards the end of the war, I think you guys adapted really well going into those last few races.
I want to, I guess, going into one last question or two more questions, just to wrap it up. Going into the final race, lap 2, I think, was it very chaotic? Were you guys really nervous, or were you guys trying to just focus as much as possible?
Sí, estaban muy nerviosos en la última pista, en la segunda vuelta. ¿Se trataron de controlar todos esos nervios o en verdad sentían como ese nerviosismo que te inunda, ¿no? Ahí en la última vuelta, la última.
Los que jugaron.
Creo que pueden contestar en español, ¿no? Y que el Mauri traduzca.
I think the blue shell in the last race will be very important to the final results, right?
Right.
So if we think about it, the last year we received the blue shell. I remember that experience in Maple Treeway.
Yeah. Yes.
And in that race,
Yes.
in Daisy Greaser, Wars, and me were top 2, and unfortunately, no bloodshed in the last moment.
Oh no, yeah, I'm pretty sure you were very nervous, especially because of what happened last time versus
I
Japan.
can definitely imagine, yeah.
I mean, I guess last question is, I mean, you guys have won this now. Again, very big congratulations. How was when you guys won it? Was it like a sense of relief that finally we've won a World Cup? Because you guys were so close in 2020, or you guys made it to finals in 2020, and we're so close to making it to finals in 2021. It must be a huge sigh of, or must be a huge relief that you guys finally win this the World Cup.
Primero que todo, felicidades, que sí, cómo se sienten después de haber pues casi ganado la World Cup de 2020 y que casi entraron a las finales en el 2021 y que ahora por fin se logró en 2022, que sí cómo se sienten después de, o sea, de haber estado tan cerca y por fin lograr ganar como México.
Sí, como que si sintieron satisfacción, alivio o algún otro sentimiento así explosivo que sea para haber ganado esta final.
Díganlo en español, se los traducimos.
Bueno, voy a hablar en español para que alguien más se anime a hablar en español. Sí, es un deseo que teníamos ya desde hace 3 años. Creo que siempre lo buscamos. Los que han estado pues son gente muy competitiva que siempre les gusta ganar. Les gusta siempre ganar, nos gusta siempre ganar. Y bueno, lo habíamos buscado con mucho anhelo y no es hasta ahora que pues lo logramos, nos sentimos muy satisfechos, sentimos un gran alivio porque es una meta. Y yo creo que ese es uno de los torneos más anhelados porque se hace solamente una vez al año y pues nos sentimos muy felices, muy satisfechos y lo dedicamos a toda la gente, bueno, yo personalmente, ¿verdad? Yo me imagino que los del equipo también, a todo la TAM, que bueno, tenemos mucho apego con esos equipos, a Perú, a Colombia, Argentina, Chile, todos esos países que siempre nos estuvieron apoyando, ¿no?
Yeah, they said that it's a big satisfaction, especially because they had that feeling like stuck up with them and they're very like they're highly competitive and they wanted to, you know, win. So they want to dedicate this one to all the Latin community, to all the countries that are participating from Latin America, like Peru, Chile, Colombia, and all the countries that are actually participating. So they are very glad and happy about that.
Yeah, I think this is not only just a win for Mexico, but the Latin for also a win for Latin America because of how, you know, this is like the biggest tournament I think in MKTour, and you know, finally having a LATAM team up or winning this tournament, it must be really big for the community, and I'm very happy for the community since they finally get to have first place in this tournament. So I'm very proud, very happy for you guys, as not only just Mexico but the entire Latin American community or entirety of Latin America. And I think lastly, before I end, I just want to say thank you guys for being such a fun team to watch. Throughout this entire tournament, I know that there's been, I know some people I've talked to were not really too high in Mexico, so or not really thinking that Mexico could do this. And I think that having such a really big comeback versus United States and versus Japan in the semifinals and finals was very exciting to watch. I know this is probably the most fun I have ever had watching World Cup, and you guys were so fun to watch, and I really want to thank you guys for being so fun to watch, and I'm so happy that you guys have won this tournament.
Yeah, again, huge congrats to you guys.
Thank you very much for your support. Definitely, every year we have seen a great effort on the part of all competitive players, thanks to the MKTour community on the multiplayer mode. Difficult starts, we know that, and at the end, all of this is part of the experience, and to continue improving, and if possible, help others to know how can they play uh, Mario Kart Tour for multiplayer mode. Also the top 1000 or ACR. We are a community at the end, and it's part of the experience from the newest name of Mario Kart series. Greetings
Beautifully,
to the staff of MK Central, and thank you very much for the time and the organization, of course.
beautifully said, Lewis. I wouldn't have said it myself better. Thank you, everyone, again for watching this tournament. This has probably been the most fun. I've always loved watching the World Cup ever since 2021, and it's been such a fun experience to go through this again. There's a reason why I spend so many hours just to stream host this event, and it's players like it's teams like Mexico who have these really fun stories going into the World Cup and overcoming all odds, but not just them. Every single team has done a really good job, and I think this is probably the most competitive and fun World Cup I've ever seen, or in the Mario Kart Tour scene. And I just want to thank every team for that. We will be ending it off here. Does anyone have anything last minute things to say for the cast?
Bueno, yo ahora sí que quiero decir unas palabras en español, obviamente, ahorita. Pues la verdad, estoy muy agradecido ahorita por esta oportunidad que se me dio. La verdad es que también todos los países, como dice Pepe, que han estado, que han jugado, o sea, esta es una competencia que la verdad es, no sé, o sea, a nivel mundial, a nivel nuestra comunidad, es un gran logro. Yo desde que estoy en el juego, o sea, es anhelo ganar algo y bueno, pues ahora sí que tuve la fortuna de estar, pero pues igual agradecer a todos los que estamos, a todos los que jugamos. Igual, pues a Japón, I'm very proud of my country, and also thanks Japan and all the countries. Y pues GG's y viva México, cabrones.
Well, he said
Viva
that he's
México.
very glad about this opportunity. That is a great accomplishment for the American community, and that he's very glad that they have finally made it. And well, he appreciates the tournament, and thanks you all guys for hosting.
Thank you again for participating. I think that will wrap it up. I will let you guys leave because I know you guys want to party and whatnot. But thank you all so much for watching the Mario Kart Tour World Cup. Stay tuned for Mario Kart Tour news on the MKT Center, or the Mario Kart Tour competitive server, as well as Mario Kart Central. But that will do it for everyone. From behalf of Mitch and the entire Mexico team, we thank you guys so much for watching, and also the translators. Thank you, Mari and Fab, for translating, and Mork as well, even though you didn't say anything, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But thank you all.
Felicidades, jugadores. De parte de todo el staff.
All right, thank you all so much for
interview.
Yep, no problem. I want to showcase you guys as much as possible. Thank you guys so much for following. I will let you guys party now, and that will be it. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
I have a banner.
Gracias también a ustedes, staff.
Thank you so much.
Gracias.
See you later.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Good night. Good morning.
Felicidades, váyanse a empedar.
Ahora sí vamos al ángel todos. Viva México.
¿Quién
Viva
dijo la
México.
chingada, vete a dormir?
this all is skill.